All right, so there's been something that I've been wanting to get on here and talk about for a while that I've observed in the baseball world. And it's essentially, I think there's a significant disconnect in what it really takes to be good at catching. I know that catching is one of the, if not the most technical positions in sports. It's far more than just catching the ball and blocking the ball or, whatever. There's a lot that goes into it, and a lot of intricacies of the position that actually have a pretty significant impact on the game in terms of value. And I think that isn't quite understood to the level that it needs to be, especially mostly in the lower levels and youth levels in high school. I think it goes for a lot of players and coaches who really just don't understand and don't prioritize sufficiently working on catching and what that really takes and what that really requires. I think guys are quick to go to the cage and hit, which is great. If you want to hit more often, hit more often. I'm not hating on that at all. But coaches, BP's always on the practice plan, which I think it should be. But at the same time, like as a catcher, you're going to get 4 at bats a game. You're going to catch 100 pitches. We should probably work on catching too. Especially in terms of if you look at the numbers in terms of what impacts the game the most, where's the most opportunity to have a positive impact in the game? It's behind the plate. And I think there's a disconnect in terms of guys realizing that and prioritizing it that way. And again, I guess for players and for coaches, where are you spending your time? Again, you should be hitting every day, absolutely. But you should also be catching almost every day. And that might be a lot for a lot of guys to hear, or a lot for some players to confront. But that's the reality of what it takes to actually get good at catching. And it's not just the work every day, but it's the right work. It's the right information. And it's the intentional work, with the purpose, working on the right things consistently over time, and committing to that. That I think, again, is really neglected in today's game at the lower levels in lots of situations. Not all of them. I know a lot of guys that work their butts off daily. I know coaches that prioritize this and take care of their guys behind the plate. It's definitely not across the board, but it's too common for me not to notice it and see it as a problem. So I think part of it is that there's a lack of information out there, a lack of good information out there, and a lack of guys that really understand, or coaches that really understand what it is that makes a good catcher or an effective, valuable catcher, which is, there's a handful of guys on Instagram that are putting good stuff out there, but these poor catchers, these kids that they go to Instagram, see this or that, it looks good to them, they want to try it, and they go to their practice or their game or their coach and whatever, and their coach is saying, stop doing that, doesn't know why they're doing it, get your knee off the ground, stop moving your glove, whatever it is. And it's a tough place to be as a catcher. I've been there. I know guys that are there right now, but it's a problem. So not to go on and on about the problem, but let's I think there is a solution, but it involves the player taking responsibility for their own development and their own execution and performance behind the plate. And on the coach's part, it's up to them also to educate themselves or find someone that knows what they're doing and sort of prioritize the catching position, because it's no lie, it's no secret what a good catcher does for a team in terms of helping the team win, and what a bad catcher does on the opposite end of that. I think we all know that in baseball, but yet catching is without a doubt one of the most neglected positions in all of sports, despite being one of the most technical and requiring a lot of skill. So anyway, players, I think taking control of your career and your development behind the plate is vital. That's why we created Backstop Club. It's, we lay it all out for you. We have every week, we have 3 workouts all laid out, one for receiving, one for blocking, one for throwing, with mobility and, whole progressions and everything, that are curated every single week. And we also have hundreds of drills available to all of our guys. They can go in there and make their own workouts and pick what they want to work on or whatever, send in videos for feedback. We lay it all out for you in terms of what needs to get done on a weekly basis. We give you the information. We have our weekly Zoom calls. You guys can ask questions and talk about stuff. So whether you're a coach or a player, we try to make it easy for you. We try to make it accessible for you guys, so that you guys know where to go to get the information. Not saying that I have all the answers at all. I certainly do not, but I'm sharing to the best of my knowledge what I know and what I've seen to help guys, and hope you guys need to help yourselves, help your players as well. But yeah, let's stop neglecting the catching position. Let's start giving it the attention it deserves. It's hard. Catching's hard, but someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it, and thank God for catchers that want to do it. Anyway, that's all I got. Just want to spill some thoughts. We got a link in our bio. Backstopbandits.com. If you want more information on that, if you want to sign up for that, a couple different options there for memberships. But anyway, Godspeed. See you guys later.